John, good to see you. Our cybersecurity coverage continues by popular demand. People have really been finding a lot of value in what we've been talking about, not only our video, but your really great value adds. I loved the checklist, John. So today we're going to cover some important, easy, and often overlooked steps that we can take to keep our financial information private online. And the first one is a 10-second email rule. And this one is so important, John. And again, really straightforward. What do we need to know?
So again, we want to have separate emails for our financial accounts. That's a big takeaway from the first one. However, in your other emails, take 10 seconds to really evaluate the email, especially if it's telling you to click on a link or if it's having some type of threat like your account's been canceled. So understand that the sender can edit their sending address however they want. They can make it look like it's from Amazon Prime. So what you want to do is you want to right click on that email, look for the details of the sender. And oftentimes you'll see some goofy email address. Sometimes they may actually have the name in there, but they might have a couple added things towards the end. So really pay attention to the address that it's coming from. Number two, the other thing you want to do is do not open the file if that address looks off. Instead, you could try to examine the file, but do not open it. So you just want to take some time in that area to really examine without opening the files. The other areas where it's the greetings and the language, unfortunately, with the rise of AI, that's only going to be a little bit harder to decipher because these email scams are getting more elaborate. So my rule of thumb is if you see something that is out of the ordinary, and I'll use myself as an example. I got an email from a trust attorney saying, hey, attached is your distribution, your payment for helping with this established trust, which I actually did some help on, but I had never seen an email like this. So I called up the attorney and they're like, we didn't send that. Do not open it. We must have just been hacked. They didn't even know at that point in time they had been hacked. So I followed my gut instinct on that. So again, if you get those threatening emails from Amazon Prime or whatnot, go and contact Amazon Prime themselves off of, looking them up on the website. Do not click on the links or even their phone numbers.
Right. Very good and important advice. Next, we want to talk about strong passwords and two-step verification. I feel like we hear all the time, John, about have a strong password, but what does that mean?
Yeah. Aaron, do you know what actually one of the most common passwords used is today?
Password
1, 2, 3, 4, right? Because you gotta have some numbers in there. You have to have some numbers in a capital. So it's a capital P password, 1, 2, 3, 4. Folks can't do that. You need to have very elaborate passwords. I use a password manager. I wouldn't recommend LastPass anymore. They had their own issues, but there are password vaults out there. I have an app. It's on my computers, and I have a different password for every single account. And I don't even make my password up. I have it generate a secure password that'll take, 3,000 years to crack or whatnot is what they say. And I go from there. So I really, really suggest having a password manager. And the two-step verification. Yes, it seems like a pain in the butt. You have to go through a two-step. Listen, everyone's got smartphones these days. Have it send you a text. It takes an extra 10 seconds, but it's so important to make sure that especially your financial accounts are being verified by you. Again, like we talked about, these proactive steps that take time, avoid having to take the reactive steps of taking months, if not years, to unwind the damage done by identity theft.
Right. Absolutely. Next, use public Wi-Fi with caution and secure your own home network.
Yeah, these are pretty commonplace, right? Most home networks have secure networks, right, with the lock symbol. The biggest thing I'll tell you there is make the password tough. And public Wi-Fi, I'm not a fan of using it, especially if you have smartphones or tablets. Most of the time you have your own Wi-Fi network, use that. If you are on a public Wi-Fi, never never surf and use private information. And if you're going to surf the public Wi-Fi, I highly recommend a VPN, a virtual private network. Again, that's an add-on. It's not super expensive, maybe $6, $7 a month. I use one, period.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And last, update all your software always. I feel like this is something, again, even big companies have been hacked because they haven't been updating their software.
A lot of the updates they say is to patch security vulnerabilities and bugs. So keep your computer and your phone up to date. However, do not depend on those updates. I strongly suggest having an antivirus. I have an antivirus. We're actually mandated to have an antivirus by the SEC, but I have it on not only my work computers, but on my cell phone. So anytime you're in that web, have that antivirus software up and running.
Mm-hmm. All right. Again, a great action list, John. I think that if somebody wants to reach out to you to find out that other checklist that you've sent out, you have some great resources. How do they get a hold of you with questions?
Yeah, so always visit our website, www.gosecurus.com. And from there, you can set up a 15-minute phone call where we'll answer any questions, or a complimentary vision and clarity consultation. Or you can give us a call at the office, 858-935-6210.
All right, John, thank you very much.
Thank you, Erin.